Welcome to my house. Oh, let the light adjust. It's not very large. It's basically one room right now, as you can see. Like in all Japanese houses, even apartments, I've entered into the genkan, which is really tiny and not much of a genkan. Place to keep shoes in this closet. So when you walk into my house, you get straight into the kitchen. If you can tell, this is my kitchen. It's rather tiny. Here's my one burner stove. Yes, it's a gas stove. Here's the sink. There's not a lot of storage space, so most of my cooking supplies are out on this metal rack. My dishes, that is some metal storage rack that basically doubles as a drying rack for me. There are cabinets under the counter and sink where I keep pots and pans and things that don't need to be refrigerated. And there's this cabinet way up here. It didn't make sense to me at first because it's very tall and it's very hard to reach if you aren't a tall person. So this is my kitchen. It's quite tiny. I have a little rug on the floor, but this is how wide the hallway is. Here's my it's an ancient microwave. It makes a dinging noise when the food is finished cooking, and the microwave sits on top of a mini fridge. And on top of the microwave I have my rice cooker, of course. Utensils and forks and stuff, and my toothbrush because I brush my teeth out here. Here is the door to my shower room, otherwise known as the ofuro. Well, it's not really that large, but it does suit one person. As you can see, this whole room is waterproof or watertight, so you can get the entire room wet and not worry about water going to the outside. And it's got the sink and a tub built in. And this door here is to the toilet room. It's common for the toilet and the tub to be in different rooms in Japan because toilets and stuff are seen as dirty, whereas the bath and the tub is seen as clean, so they keep them as separate rooms. It's a standard toilet. It's nothing special. There's no butt washer or heated seat, which actually really disappointed me because when it got really cold, I had to put one of these cloth on the seat. Otherwise, sitting on the toilet was like torture. For those people who live in cold climates, sitting on toilet, they'll know sitting on toilet seats is awful. The only thing special about this toilet, I guess, is that when you flush, it flushes and then you can wash your hands above it. So there's that difference from Western toilets, I guess. It's quite efficient. So here is, further down my hallway, which is not very long, is a rack where I keep just stuff that I access pretty frequently. Some foods and dried noodles, things that don't need to be refrigerated, and ingredients and stuff. And this bin holds cleaning supplies in it. That bin over there actually is for burnable garbage because all the garbage has to be sorted into different bags and put out on different days, and I will go more in depth on that subject later because it's a really long explanation. And the bag on top is for plastic bottles and glasses and cans. On top of that, I have a washing machine. The controls are quite simple. It's just turn on, put your settings, and start the machine. I don't have a dryer, so I do have to hang my laundry outside. So from the hallway, I have, you can tell that I'm lazy when it comes to taking down things. My mom sent these Christmas lights in a package from before Christmas, and it is now very much after Christmas, so I don't think I'll be taking them down though until I actually move out. So this is the view of the front door and the whole hallway, kitchen, bathroom, washing machine area. At first when I moved in, it was kind of, you know, it was a little bit of a tight squeeze, but I got used to it. I don't really mind the small hallways. It only gets kind of crowded when you have more than one person walking around in the hallway, like when I've had friends over and we're trying to make dinner and then it gets really crowded. But other than that, it's good for one person. I have no problems with it. So this is the one room in my one-room house apartment. When I first moved in, it came with the desk and the chair, and it came with the bed frame. It's not really so much of a bed frame as it is a mattress with legs. They gave me, there was an option, or no option, they just kind of gave me a brand new futon, which is the blue, and a duvet, which is the blue, and then I bought this this green, I don't know what material it is, and it's very soft, but I bought this green blanket when it started to get colder because I noticed that the duvet wasn't keeping the heat well enough. So that's all it came with. It was really empty when I first got here. There's this table here that I bought myself, and as well as the rug and those two shelving units. Everything was, the table and the shelving units were self-assembled, kind of like IKEA furniture, but from a Japanese furniture store. And these pillows were sitting on the floor, like I guess a normal Japanese style apartment would have. Anyway, so this is the closet. I also cleaned that out so that it wouldn't be an eyesore. It only had, like I said, when I got here, it was only the closet. It didn't have these plastic bins. I had to get those myself as well. Basically, everything here is just clothes on this middle rack. It's the easiest to access clothing. And my suitcase is stored down there. A bunch of other boxes for things that I don't use often, and up there as well. I've got another smaller suitcase and just little items that I don't need that often. And then I put some suction cups on the closet door because there's not a lot of place to store things once again and hang stuff. In my apartment back home and in my dorm, my university dorm room, the walls are kind of concrete, so you can put those things that stick to the wall, but here the wall is a strange kind of texture, and you can see it's already damaged. Like there's some damage that like when I moved in it was already there. But so you can't stick anything to this wall because it's like a wallpaper type of texture, which is kind of annoying because I needed the hook space for towels and bags and stuff, and the only place that I could put hooks were the closet door and the bathroom door, the ofuro door. Said there's only 2 electrical outlets in this room. There's one there, and the other one is all the way behind on the other side of that desk. So I didn't have much of an option for things that use electricity on where I put them, so my wires all kind of just end up crowded around the electrical outlet. And my apartment doesn't actually have Wi-Fi, so I use an Ethernet cable, which is, I didn't like realize initially that I needed such a long one. I just bought this really long one by chance, so the cable, my Ethernet cable that's plugged in, follows the wall down this wall, and the hole for the Ethernet connection is also behind that desk. Here I've just got, that's my heater unit, by the way. It worked in the summer because it's also an air conditioner. It's dual heater and air conditioner, but it worked in the summer because when it blew the cold air kind of, it would fill the room and sink because cold air sinks. But now in the winter, I have a little bit of a problem with it because hot air rises, and since it's near the ceiling, the hot air tends to just concentrate itself in this corner of the room. and it doesn't really spread elsewhere, so I get cold in the morning if I'm getting ready to go out to school or something. And I have a little laundry clip thing here for bad weather days when I have laundry that needs drying but it's raining outside. So I didn't really think about it too much in the beginning, but I clipped it underneath the heater so that when the heater's on it dries my laundry. And I didn't realize that initially, but I realized that that was probably a smart idea by accident. So when I do sit on the floor, because the heat from that heater doesn't reach, I have a small space heater here. It's really high power though, because my parents actually sent it from the States. And the only problem that it has is if I use too many appliances while that is running, it'll blow the circuits and it will turn off my breaker. So I've done that at least 4 times by accidentally running the microwave while I ran that. So I have to put a sticky note on the microwave saying do not run while space heater is running. So this is, I also hang coats on here because there's no other place to hang coats. And here is the outside of my apartment. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. What a nice time to be listening. This, if you've been watching my videos or if you have seen my really old videos, you'll notice that this is the same song that played, this is the same song that played in one of my vlogs from when I was in Japan in 2011, and that is the chime that plays in most suburban cities at 5 o'clock, and it's for like telling elementary schoolers to go home. So that's what that is. So this is the view from my apartment. I have probably, well, arguably the best view from my back door out of all the apartments in my building. The loud rushing noise that you hear occasionally is the train tracks, which are from the front side of my apartment. Yeah, I live right in front of the train tracks, and it was annoying at first, but you kind of get used to it over time and it stops bothering you. So as you can see, there is a cemetery over there, and there is also, you can't really see the graves I guess, but the temple that's there, yeah, you can see a couple graves. There's a cemetery over there, so I'm surrounded by cemeteries, which is actually not that creepy, but yeah. These clips and hangers, as you can tell here, are where I dry my laundry when I do it. I realize that I get really happy or grateful when it's a sunny day and I can do my laundry, because basically my laundry schedule is run by what the weather decides it wants to do. Japanese houses and apartments are notorious for not having any insulation, so if you can't be loud, first of all, because everyone will hear absolutely everything you're doing, and second of all, it will get cold or it will get really hot because there's no insulation in the walls and ceilings, so you don't have that much protection from the temperature outside. This is my apartment. This is where I've been living for the past half year. I apologize for not putting anything out about it earlier. I've been really busy with school and working and stuff, and life is not that simple.